Well, studies indicate that children who are overweight are more likely to be bullied than normal weight children. And as a follow-up to last week's bullying project on KSDK, Charles D'Angelo is talking about the connection between obesity and bullying. And of course, Charles is a fitness and weight loss contributor to First at 4. Now, you have a personal story about bullying. What is that?
Well, I've been there. At 17, I was 360 pounds. By the time I was in the 4th grade, I was over 200 pounds in the 4th grade. So growing up as an obese kid, being bullied, I pulled away from the other children. And as a kid, the thing is when you pull back from others, those other children then interpret that as you're rejecting of them. So it gets in this really negative cycle where kids are making fun of you. And of course, as a child, I was very sensitive and empathetic. And because of that, I didn't want to be around the kids. Well, as I pulled back, the kids thought, well, he thinks he's better than us. So the bullying escalated, and I found my best friend in junk food, and my parents tried their darndest to keep me from it, but it was my only comfort, and it escalated the problem to the point I was 17, 360 pounds.
And I think we're looking at a photo of you back in the day.
That was at CBC. Yeah, and CBC was a great thing, but it also was a double-edged sword because while the boys were very accepting of me there, I just got more and more deep entrenched in that bad behavior, that bad eating and lack of activity. So when a person comes to me, a child or an adult that struggled with this all their life, I can say I've been there, I've been stuck in that place where you feel that there's no way out. And when you look physically different, I don't think that there's anything that's as difficult on a child when there's actually a physical abnormality that separates them from the rest. So I understand it. And I was one of those kids that would sit on the wall at recess, or eventually the bullying got so bad I actually went to the rectory. I went to a Catholic grade school, and I would sit in the rectory during recess to avoid the other kids. I ate lunch by myself in a bathroom stall. So I get it, how much pain's out there, and there's a great film out now called Bullied. If anyone hasn't seen it, I really encourage educators, parents, and children alike to go see it because it really presents the pain that comes with being different and really the lack of empathy that goes with it.
A 2010 study showed that obese kids are 65% more likely to be bullied. That's a scary number.
Well, it's certainly scary, not only from the fact that they're a bully, but also what's that going to mean to them later in life? How is that going to inhibit them from really going after what they really want to achieve, what they're capable of achieving? If I would have bought into all that negativity that people were feeding me about what limitations I was going to face because being fat, if I would have bought into that, I would never tap my potential. So removing that barrier, getting rid of those bad habits, and something that kids can do today is really take charge of the things they can control. You can't control what that person's going to say about you, and educators have a darn time trying to control peer groups, especially with the advent of social media. You talked earlier about Facebook. Now, bullying can be anonymous. Things can be said and done online and no one knows where it's coming from. So one thing that I encourage everyone to do is take charge of what you can take control of. Start eating right, start exercising, and I'm living proof that if you're willing to stand up for yourself by taking charge of your own life, anything's possible.
Charles D'Angelo.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.